So recently, Nintendo has been riding a bit of a high when it comes to the news cycle. Obviously, with the announcement of the Nintendo Switch 2 system sales and it being over 10 million units sold between June and September, things have been very positive for the company. The mindset around the Nintendo Switch 2 has indeed been improving, at least in the online sphere. Of course, Mario Kart World is selling astronomical numbers, nearly 10 million units sold. Donkey Kong Bonanza sold over 3 million units. It's been a very positive news cycle for Nintendo, and with games such as Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment just releasing, a game that I'm thoroughly enjoying, upcoming games such as Metroid Prime 4, everything seemed to be going good. Until today. Because Nintendo, they just have to be this weird company. They have to make these weird decisions, and they have to potentially upset a large portion of the internet fan base with some of the things that they do. And boy, oh boy, did they do that today. This is a twofold story, because the first thing I was kind of like, well, people are going to get mad at it, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. But then when you look deeper into it and see the second part of the story, it just goes completely off the rails. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But without any further ado, let's talk about why everyone is mad at Nintendo, and it is indeed stemming from the game keycard situation. This has long been a debate online. Game keycards are fine. Game key cards are the Antichrist. It doesn't really seem like there's a middle ground for people with this. It's either it's fine or it's the worst thing ever. Digital preservation, call the Video Game Preservation Society. Maybe they can make Nintendo change their mind. Well, with the holiday season coming up, Nintendo is of course doing holiday guides when it comes to Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. And this morning, a video went up for Nintendo Switch 2 game keycards and essentially how they work. Because you got to remember, there are a lot of people that are not like us that are terminally online all the time, constantly connected to social media and things like YouTube. So when they get a game keycard, they're going to be like, okay, what the hell is this? What do I need an internet connection? Why do I need an internet connection? So on and so forth. So a video like this explaining things, obviously to me, is not a huge deal. It's something that is smart to do, get ahead of the curve when it comes to the holiday season. So that way on Christmas morning, when little Johnny is trying to figure out what a game key card is, his father, his mother, guardian, whatever, dude, we're not going down that rabbit hole. They could pull up a video from Nintendo and understand it. Now, of course, when you look at the comments of the video, you look at the like-dislike ratio, everyone is pissed off. Everyone still hates game key cards. You know that I'm not one of those people. I'm fine with them, honestly. It's an option between that or digital with a lot of these games. Can Nintendo do things to make it better? Of course, they can allow installs on the system, so that way, things just are better when you have the game key card. You don't need it inserted into your system in order to play the game. And of course, the big thing is they can offer multiple game key card sizes. But when you're watching this video, there's something very interesting. And this is the part where I think everything falls off the rails. If you thought that the game keycard thing was bad enough and just talking about it and reminding people about it, no, because here's where things go off the rails. People started noticing the game that was being showcased during this trailer. And it's a Pokemon game, and boy, oh boy. So Pokemon Pokopia, I don't know how to say this. I have said numerous times, I think this game is an atrocity. It literally looks like a 3DS game at absolute best. When you see the vines in the background and stuff like that, it just is not a visually pleasing game from the company with the largest, income base in the world. The Pokemon franchise is the biggest entertainment franchise in the absolute world. But they were showing this game off, and I was just kind of like, oh, Well, maybe they're just doing that just to show off a game because there are no first-party game keycard games. I'm sure Pokopia is not going to be a game keycard. Oh, but it is. Pokopia is indeed a game keycard. So I was looking at that and I'm like, okay. Well, there has to be some logical explanation for it. Maybe it's a game key card because obviously this is a budget game. You know, this is probably a $40 game. They do want to have some retail presence with this game, obviously. So you put it on a game key card, you sell it at 40 bucks, maybe 50 bucks maximum. All right, maybe that makes a little bit more sense because now you're not having to worry about the 64 gigabyte game key cartridge and not utilizing all of that because there's no way in hell that this game is going to utilize anywhere near that much, but it's probably on the smaller end. And we've seen companies like Sega with older titles, you know, like the Sonic Generation stuff. They, of course, did a game key card for that, and they released it at a budget price. That makes sense to me. It's a 70. Pokopia is a $70 game. A $70 game key card from Nintendo that looks like dog shit. I mean, you can't say that it's an attractive looking game. If you do, you need glasses. Your vision is not up to snuff in order to quantify and justify whether or not a game looks good or not. Your opinion, unfortunately, does not matter because it's just inherently wrong. This game, nothing about this game screams $70. Nothing about this game screams game key cards. And I am someone who is okay with game key cards, but looking at this game, looking at the price of this game, and looking at this game being trotted out there as like the game to sort of showcase what a game key card is and how a game key card works. No. Nintendo deserves all this heat. Nintendo deserves all this heat. And you can say, well, RGT, it's the Pokemon Company. Okay. So that makes it even worse. If anything, that makes it even worse. Because the Pokemon Company is not hurting for money. This is a brand new game. This is not a game that is too large for a standard cartridge or something like that. How the hell are you going to compare a game like this to something like Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is a $40 game on the Nintendo Switch 2, looks great, runs great, has the additional content from the PS5 version of the game, and that's $40 and a game key card. But this nonsense is $70. And here's the problem. Pokemon is the Nickelback of the video game industry. People buy Nickelback albums, but everyone you talk to hates Nickelback. Everyone's like, well, Nickelback, they're lazy. You know, their songs are just generic slop. Nobody cares about this, yet they sell hundreds of millions of records. Pokemon is the same thing. And if you dare speak about Pokemon in a negative manner, you'll have mid-30s, mid-40s grown-ass men yelling at you, it's pure, you're wrong. It's like, shut up, dude. What is wrong with you? Not everyone is going to like everything. Not everyone is going to understand everything. But this is a terrible look for Nintendo, especially on the online scene. Everyone had quieted down with, you know, overly negative stuff. But I think being negative about this is not overly negative. I don't think it's, you know, just feeding into, you know, a negative mindset or a negative mentality. This is something that is worth talking about. This game looks like garbage. This game does not need to be a game key card when Nintendo is publishing it, the Pokemon Company is making it, and obviously they have a great working relationship. This is horrible. This like, is nobody at Nintendo sitting there thinking, you know, maybe we should use a different game? Even if Pokopia is going to be a game key card, which, I mean, it is, but even if we had already decided that, use a pre-existing game key card from a third-party company. Give a third-party company a little bit of shine when it comes to this, because now the Pandora's box is open. for game key cards when it comes to Nintendo published titles. We all thought that they were all going to be on the cartridge because this is Nintendo's proprietary medium when it comes to this. But now the Pandora's box has been opened, and boy, oh boy, are things going to get very, very interesting. Don't buy this game. Just don't. Just don't. There's no reason to. There are superior games in the genre that look like they were made in the current 21st century. You don't need to go back to N64 looking ass tree vines and stuff like that. But good job, Nintendo. Way to piss everyone off this morning. Because boy, oh boy, did you do that? Did you do that? So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think about this? Are you disgusted by this? Do you think this is absolutely ridiculous and really kind of tone deaf in the grand scheme of things? Because I think it is, man. Like, wow. Just good job. Good job. And are you going to buy Pokopia? Because millions are going to buy it, and it's not going to freaking matter. So you not buying it is not going to really do that much damage. So I don't know. I don't know, man. It's a rock and a hard place with this. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.